So, this city council has been known to repeatedly violate the constitutional rights of the citizens that live in like Live Oak and the business owners. And you can clearly see this at the December 2025 city council meeting, which I'm going to pull up for you and reference local government code chapter 9, which specifically deals with charter amendments. So here's the amendment that they proposed. So you'll see that there is discussion and possible action to amend various sections ethics regulations. You scroll down here, we will see that the staff changed the charter, which is totally illegal. Uh, that whenever you change the charter, that actually has to go to a vote to the citizens to vote on. This city even has an ethics review board, and they were not even involved with the changes on this charter. I also find it interesting that Bonnie Tolgren, the board member here, whose term expires in September of 2027, happens to have her son serving on the city council. It's insane. How are you supposed to have no conflict of interest if your son is serving on the city council? How is that not biased? How is that not nepotism? It's insane. So here's what they changed illegally. For one, they're going to make it more difficult for you to file an ethics complaint to redress your government, which is your First Amendment constitutional right. So, this is page 5 of 7. Inquiries. The city secretary shall serve as the point of contact for the city regarding the process for filing a complaint. And then they strike through assistance. The city secretary shall provide information to persons who inquire about the process for filing a complaint. So the city secretary no longer will assist you with filing your complaint. She's just the point of contact. And yeah, I found that out because the last time I tried to file an ethics complaint, I specifically told her that my ethics complaint would need a sworn statement, and she played dumb and took it and then told me days later that she couldn't accept my ethics complaint because it didn't have a sworn statement, even though this is a registered notary for the state of Texas. Now they add all this vague language about frivolous complaint. So, for purposes of the section, a frivolous complaint, we're talking about a frivolous ethics complaint, which is open, as far as I know, is open for debate. What one person may call frivolous, another person may not call frivolous. And of course, if you're the one that is being accused of an ethics violation, of course you're going to say it's a frivolous complaint, especially if your mom is on the board of ethics representing you. So, the definition of a frivolous complaint is a sworn complaint that is groundless and brought in bad faith, or groundless and brought for the purpose of harassment. So, by a vote of at least 2/3 of those present, the Ethics Review Board may order a complainant to show cause why the board should not determine that the complaint filed by the complainant against the respondent is frivolous. And these are the things that they will take into consideration to determine whether or not your complaint is frivolous. So if you have a motive to file the complaint, that could be frivolous. If there's any evidence that the complainant knew or reasonably should have known that the allegations in the complaint were groundless, and if the respondent, the person filing, is a candidate for election to office. So if you file because you don't like the way the city is being run and you want to actually remove the people that are violating the ethics code, they will actually take that into consideration to call your ethics complaint frivolous. This is insane. This was actually done. They voted on this in less than 2 minutes. They violated the U.S. Constitution. Here we go. The existence and nature of any relationship between the respondent and the complainant before the complaint was filed. And if you publicize anything related to the complaint, they will also take that into consideration. So, God forbid you post something on Facebook or you tell people in your next door app neighbors about what's going on with your city council, they'll actually use that against you. This is the Live Oak City Council that did this, that violated the First Amendment.
Moving to item G, which is discussion, possible action regarding ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 4, ethics regulations related to the review board, review of complaints, and other related matters. Ms. Catan, again, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. This proposed ordinance will update the city's ethics regulations. It clarifies roles, expectations, and the process for the ethics board and cleans up other relevant provisions. The sample motion is in your blue sheet. If you have any questions, please let Clarissa or myself know.
Thank you again, Ms. Catan. Anything to add, Ms. Rodriguez? All right. Any questions, council? Is there a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion that City Council approve an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Live Oak, Texas, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 3, Division 4, Ethics Regulations of the Code of Ordinances, City of Live Oak, Texas, by amending sections and adding new sections for Ethics Review Board and complaints, providing for a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date.
Second that.
We have a motion and second by Councilwoman Green for an ordinance of the City of Live Oak, Council, Live Oak, Texas, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 3, Division 4, Ethics Regulations of the Code of Ordinances, City of Live Oak, Texas, by amending sections and adding new sections for Ethics Review Board and complaints, providing for a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. Councilwoman Green.
Green 4.
Dog 4.
Rest 4.
Simmons 4. All 4.
And it passes 5-0. Thank you.
The Ethics Review Board shall hold a hearing at which the complainant may be heard. The complainant may be accompanied by counsel. And in order to dissuade you from filing the ethics complaint, the board can impose a civil penalty of $500. So if they find any of the things above and they toss out your ethics complaint, not only will you have to pay $500, but you will have to pay the attorney fees for the person who has to respond to the frivolous ethics complaint and any other sanction permitted by law. This is a lawless city council. Mexico and North Korea have less corruption than this city does, and you can see it. Here we have Local Government Code Chapter 9, Charter Amendments. Now, I find it rather funny that the City of Live Oak calls the Charter Amendment an ordinance, which that's not what it is. It's not an ordinance, it's a Charter Amendment. Except as provided by Section 9.0045, the governing body of a municipality on its own motion may submit a proposed charter amendment to the municipality's qualified voters for their approval at an election. The governing body shall submit a proposed charter amendment to the voters for their approval of an election if the submission is supported by a petition. So they actually have an election every year. The City of Live Oak has an election every year in May. They couldn't wait to put this on the ballot. They had to just change it because they are afraid that members in the community that are about to run for office and replace them are going to submit ethics complaints that could possibly remove them. So they want to make it more difficult for you to remove them for a pattern of unethical misconduct. And it has to be published in the newspaper of general circulation, published in the municipality when you change the charter. There are all these laws that the state of Texas passed. So what they did was highly illegal. But the reason they get away with this stuff is no one ever calls them out on anything. No one shows up to their council meetings. These are council members that run unopposed. And so until more people in the community start calling them out and start asking questions and file to run against these individuals, the same things are going to happen over and over again, as you have seen.